July 4th in small-town Ohio triggers the sound I thought I'd left in the desert. A bottle rocket screams overhead. Then the world flicks to sand-brown, rotor wash heat, incoming mortars. Why does one festive whistle still make my spine brace for shrapnel? A brass band warms up at the courthouse steps, horns bubbling like coffee about to boil. I smell charcoal drifting from every porch, sweet with brown sugar rub. The scene should feel safe, but my pulse jumps like a rabbit because the next sound could flip my world. Yesterday, I helped Mom string red, white, and blue paper lanterns along her fence. She joked that the town hasn't changed since 1975. Same hardware store, same volunteer fire truck leading the parade. I nodded, hiding the knot in my stomach. Crowds mean surprises. Surprises mean danger. Still, I promised my 8-year-old niece Katie I'd watch her wave her tiny flag when the first float rolled by. Children trust promises. Combat vets learn to fear them. The band strikes its opening chord. It's only a C major, but the brass feels metallic enough to scrape my teeth. Down the block, a teenager flicks a lighter, and a bottle rocket shrieks skyward. In that split second, the Ohio sun vanishes. I'm back under a tan sky in Anbar province. Same pitch, different continent. I grip the back of a folding chair, the woven nylon cuts into my palm like Humvee netting. My brother Dave, blissfully unaware, slaps my shoulder. "You good?" he asks. I force a grin that feels stapled to my face. Another whistle, another flash. The crowd cheers. I flinch, shoulders tightening so hard my neck pops. I count breaths. 1, 2, like the therapist taught me. The rocket's echo bounces off brick storefronts, becomes the concussive thump of a 120-millimeter mortar. For a moment, I taste blown sand between my teeth. Katie darts over, sparkler in hand, white sparks spitting like angry snakes. "Uncle, look!" She draws circles that blur into glowing halos. I drop to one knee so she can't see the white showing in my eyes. The sparkler hiss warps into the sizzle of a command wire IED we once found too late. That day, 6 Marines were riding convoy, joking about baseball. 20-second separated laughter from a blast that peeled the sky. Back in Ohio, the band slides into Stars and Stripes Forever. Sousa's snare flourishes crash like small arms fire. I tighten grip on the chair again. Sweat beads inside my collar, though the evening breeze is mild. I remind myself where I stand. 3 feet from a lemonade jug, 5 from Mom's lawn gnomes, 1,000 miles from war. The parade inches closer, floats roll, kids toss candy. A vintage truck's exhaust backfires. The pop echoes. My knees buckle. In the desert, muffled pops meant muzzle suppressors, enemy marksmanship after sundown. My breath comes shallow. Edges of vision darken. I scan roofs instinctively, vantage points, possible snipers. All I find are window boxes stuffed with geraniums. Still, the reflex owns me. I glare at a rooftop air conditioner until I'm sure it's just rust, not a weapon barrel. "Want some water?" Mom offers softly, reading my body before I do. Her paper plate trembles, potato salad sliding. Her concern breaks the spell just enough. I nod, swallow twice. Cold plastic cup, condensation slick, feels like the canteen I hugged on mid-watch. The memory isn't comfort. It's confirmation that I'm drifting again. Down the street, fireworks vendors set up for dark. Stacks of mortars labeled Freedom Finale and Patriot Burst. Their cardboard tubes look too much like 60 mil launchers. Each label might as well read Groundhog Day, because come nightfall, I'll be crouching in foxholes of my own mind. Yet I stay. I promised Katie, and promises matter. To her, to the younger version of me who once believed towns could stay innocent forever. The sun dips. Street lamps flicker on. Someone turns up a Bluetooth speaker, crackly but proud, belting, "God bless the USA." Voices join. I add mine, quiet, shaky. Singing drags breath from the diaphragm, forces oxygen into blood, breaks panic's grip. But when the last chorus swells, a neighbor lights a Roman candle. Poof! A ball of red fire arcs, splits into crackling embers. Crowd, "Oh, my gut. Incoming?" I sway. Knees touch asphalt. Another ball erupts. Green this time. In Anbar, green meant chem light, marking a cleared lane. Here, it's just color. My brain doesn't care. I close my eyes and see the desert night. The fob was bracketed. Rockets streaked, painting neon death across the stars. The siren wailed, "Incoming! Incoming!" But our shelter was 200 meters away. We hit the dirt behind a HESCO barrier as the first salvo slammed the motor pool. The boom crushed air from my lungs. I smelled burning rubber, transmission fluid, fear. The crowd claps when the Roman candle finishes. I'm still kneeling. A hand settles on my shoulder. Dave again, eyes gentle. He doesn't speak, doesn't need to. The warmth of that touch anchors me to the present. I breathe, 4 in, 6 out. Asphalt grits my knee through jeans, real texture, proof of now. A hush falls, parade's done. Dusk deepens. The town won't wait for full dark. Someone yells, "Light 'em up!" And the first big mortar whooshes skyward. I hear the hollow thunk, the 2-second silence before eruption. That silence is the worst. The countdown, you can't stop. Katie squeals delight. I brace. The shell bursts, a white chrysanthemum. My chest locks, yet some small voice admits it's beautiful. I cling to that thought like a lifeline. The second shell booms louder. Adrenaline flashes. I taste copper. Then I notice Mom, Dave, Katie, all eyes on the sky, faces bright. They're safe. They're smiling. That truth wedges between me and panic. I make a decision I don't entirely trust. I stay standing. I plant boots, square shoulders, lift my own gaze. Another boom, this one red, another blue. The trio cascades. Fear churns, but resolve stiffens stronger. I chase each fire flower with a slow exhale. Part 1 closes with that thin victory. I'm still here, upright, holding the line between past and present, while the sky writes loud memories in color. The show escalates. Fireworks stutter like a drumline of artillery. Each bloom reverberates in my ribcage. Still, I focus on tiny anchors. Katie's giggle, the grass tickling my ankles, the lemon tang on my tongue. Then a shell misfires, spirals sideways, detonates low over Maple Street. Shrapnel of sparks rains onto a row of pickup trucks. Spectators gasp, scramble back. Tires squeal as someone pulls a vehicle out of danger. My mind floods with the night our convoy was ambushed near Ramadi. Enemy mortar tubes were inaccurate but relentless, edging shells closer with each adjustment. One cratered the dirt 15 meters from our gun truck, peppering armor with gravel and burning tar. I blink hard. Ohio, not Iraq. No tracer arcs, no shout for corpsmen. Yet the primal alarm is identical. I hear my heartbeat drumming in my eardrums. To stop spiraling, I ask a question, out loud, so panic can't hog the air. "Katie, what's your favorite color so far?" She looks up, thinking. "The purple one that sparkled white at the end." Her answer glows as bright as her eyes. Purple, not a combat color. Safe. I hold that word like a prayer bead. Purple, purple, purple. A lull settles while volunteers reset fuses. People mill, sipping soda, chasing toddlers. Dave cracks a joke about a rogue rocket. Guess Earl bought the discount fuse pack. Laughter bubbles. The normalcy eases tension. Yet under the lull, my nerves stay keyed. I sense patterns, how explosions cluster, how silence stretches. In Anbar, we learned that long gaps meant insurgents were repositioning or preparing a bigger strike. A chill spiders down my arms. Streetlights flicker as a cloud drifts over the quarter moon. Shadows grow. A vehicle door slams. I whirl. It's only teenagers grabbing chairs from a truck bed. They freeze, startled by my sudden pivot. I raise a hand, mutter, "Sorry, reflex." They nod, half smile, move on. Music resumes, a local singer with acoustic guitar at the gazebo mic. She strums "America the Beautiful." Her fragile voice floats through PA speakers, thin as spider silk. On Purple Mountain Majesties, I exhale, grateful again for that color. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife. The lyric lands like a stone in my gut. Heroes proved, strife, liberating. Words civilians belt with fireworks and funnel cakes. Words we lived in sweat and blood. Guilt seeps. Am I a hero? Did we liberate? A grenade of self-doubt pulls the pin. Flashback fires. A checkpoint outside Fallujah. Children crowding for candy. A white Corolla edging too close. We yelled, signaled stop. The driver smiled, then detonated. Sound dissolved into a whiteness beyond loud. When hearing returned, I tasted plastered dust and someone else's blood. For years I replayed that reel, pausing on the kids who vanished in light. A sparkler snaps beside my ear. Ohio floods back. My knees nearly buckle. Mom sees, wraps her arm through mine. "Walk with me to the porch," she whispers. I nod. We weave through lawn chairs, step onto her creaking steps. Porch light bathes us amber. Here, the blast radius of memory shrinks. She hands me a mason jar of sweet tea. The glass sweats rivers. I sip. Sugar grounds me, ancient remedy. Mom leans against the post, eyes following fireworks. "Your granddad used to duck when thunder struck," she says quietly. "He'd crawl halfway to the cellar before he realized he was safe." I breathe, picturing Granddad, a World War II tail gunner, bolting at Midwest storms. Trauma echoes through generations. Fireworks for him, for me, maybe for someone who hasn't worn the uniform yet. The thought humbles me. Pain isn't mine alone. A rumble rolls, thicker than earlier pops. I recognize the deeper register of a finale mortar. A string of them launch rapid fire. Thunk, thunk, thunk. The cadence unlocks another desert door. Our base under coordinated barrage. Sirens wailing, dust sucking toward each incoming. I remember praying the next blast wouldn't drop closer, bargaining promises I'd forget by dawn. Porch boards vibrate with each Ohio shell. Mom squeezes my hand once, then releases. An unspoken choice, stand or hide. She'll love me either way. I clutch the railing, splinter rough, anchor true. Boom! Sky erupts in silver palms. Boom! Crimson peonies overlay. Boom! Golden willows crackle. The sequence pushes me to a threshold where reflex meets will. Sweat beads, heart palms, yet I do not flee. I whisper to myself between detonations. I am in Ohio, July 4th. Family, safe. The mantra weaves with the glittering explosions until brain signals slow. One burst blooms purple at its heart. My breath evens. The finale pauses, dead silence for 2 heartbeats. Then the Goliath shell climbs. Its deep whump rattles windows. Everyone stares upward. I track it, refusing to flinch. It bursts overhead. white pearls cascading like a heavenly waterfall. The crowd roars. Under that roar I hear my own voice, small but firm. Beautiful! And for a precious moment, it is. Spotlights sweep, signaling end of display. Applause thunders. I realize my shoulders have lowered, jaw unclenched. The war inside hasn't won tonight. Maybe hasn't lost either, but stalemate feels like grace. Katie races over. "Uncle, did you see the giant one?" I squat, meet her eyes. "Every spark," I say. She plants a sticky cheek kiss on my forehead. The sugar smell of cotton candy overrides cordite ghosts. We walk back to our chairs. Lawn is littered with candy wrappers, glow stick bracelets, shoe prints in dew. The street smells of sulfur and barbecue smoke, oddly comforting. A battlefield after the ceasefire, but festive. Dave cracks open a cooler. Ice pops. He hands me a root beer. No words. The gesture says, "You made it through." I tap cans with him, the clink a subtle metal. Across Maple Street, American Legion members assemble, rifles gleaming under street lamps. Their 21-gun salute will honor fallen comrades. I overheard the schedule earlier. Katie chats blissfully, unaware. But my mind counts. 7 rifles, 3 volleys, 21 thunderclaps still to come. The veteran inside me braces. The uncle inside me refuses to let the little girl see fear win. I push up from the lawn chair, straighten, and prepare to face another storm of sound. Part 2 ends with that promise. I'll stand my ground in both wars at once. The Legion commander calls, "Detail, present arms." Rifles snap upward in crisp unison. Metal meets metal, a sound older than my service, older than my father's. Silence settles like a held breath. Katie watches, curious. Mom folds her hands. Dave's jaw flexes. In the hush, streetlights buzz faintly. I count heartbeats, hear my pulse in eardrums. The first volley cracks. 7 rifles, 1 breath apart, echo off storefronts. My chest caves inward. It's the exact timbre of a nighttime firefight's opening salvo. The moment you learn whether you'll be the hunter or the hunted. I flinch but refuse to duck. Second volley. The echo trails longer, bouncing down alleys, up over rooftops, then funneling back through my mind to desert ruins. I smell hot metal, taste dust. A memory shoves forward. Night ambush outside the wire, muzzle blasts strobing faces into after images. We returned fire, but one private froze, wide-eyed beneath his Kevlar. I remember dragging him behind a wall, shouting he was safe when I wasn't sure either of us was. Third volley. Finality rings. Brass casings ping against asphalt. My shoulders sag as adrenaline drains, leaving muscle tremors behind. Legion bugler raises trumpet. Notes of taps, ooze, mournful as a widow's sigh. The melody slips inside my ribs. Pries open tucked away grief. Friends who didn't board the homebound flight. Brothers who called me Doc one day and fell silent the next. Taps layers their faces across the dusk sky like film transparencies. When the last note fades, the bugler lowers horn with ceremonial precision. Crowd claps politely, some wipe tears. Legionnaires stand at ease, brass casings glittering by their boots. Ritual complete. I exhale, a breath I feel all the way into arches of my feet. Panic loosened its grip. Sorrow takes its place. Softer, but still weight. I let it rest. Sorrow, at least, belongs in such moments. Street lamps hum brighter as full dark claims to block. Families pack chairs, gather blankets. Laughter returns. Someone fires a cap gun, playful but jarring. I twitch, then steady. Dave nudges me. Bonfire at Miller's lot. You in? He offers escape, a change of venue, smaller crowd. I weigh it. I could retreat, call this night a draw, but retreat tastes too close to defeat. I shake my head. I'll help Mom pack the chairs. He nods, respects unwritten code. Let the vet choose his exit. We fold nylon seats. I yank 2 stakes from the ground. The thunk feels final, like pulling tent pegs after a deployment. Katie gathers glow sticks, stringing them into a neon necklace. She drapes it around my neck. Its soft purple light, there's that color again, bathes my chest. Walking toward the house, I hear distant pops. Leftover fireworks teenagers ignite behind the school. Each pop sends a ripple through nerves, but distance dampens threat. Fireflies wink in a vacant lot, tiny lanterns of forgiveness. Inside Mom's kitchen, fluorescent bulbs buzz. She slices peach pie, crust flaky, syrup pooling. The smell wraps me in childhood summers before war rewired sound into danger. I take a forkful. Cinnamon and peach burst on tongue, a flavor insurgents could never corrupt. Katie chatters about sparkler shapes. Dave mocks the rogue rocket. Mom hums. Their voices layer into a braid of ordinary life. I sip milk, feel calcium settle bones. Dave flips the TV to local news. Footage of the fireworks plays on loop. Then a phone video shot, a man diving behind a blue cooler during the misfire. Me. The anchor chuckles, calls it priceless reflex. My face flashes across the screen, eyes wide, body coiled. Katie points. That's you. Shame prickles. Millions might laugh by morning. But I study the image. A veteran reacting to a threat his brain knows too well. There's no weakness in self-preservation. I inhale, release judgment. The segment ends. Commercial jingle jars nerves, but less than expected. I switch off TV. Enough fireworks for one night, I say. The family agrees. Hours later, house quiet, I step onto front porch alone. The street sleeps under a quilt of spent smoke. In the distance, last firework pops, a lone straggler refusing to surrender. I track its arc. It fizzles before bursting, silent. Relief. Crickets sing. Steam drifts from the mug of coffee warming my palms. The mug reads, "Support our troops," faded from dishwashers. I wrap fingers around ceramic, grateful for mundane heat. I sit on the top step, boots on lower one, breathing night air that smells of cut grass and cooling asphalt. Streetlight halos fuzz my vision, not tears, just moisture. A breeze lifts flag on Mom's pole, thrum, thrum. Same cloth I saluted hundreds of times, now merely fabric catching wind. Yet meaning lingers. I think of the private I dragged to safety, of fireworks morphing into mortars, of a little girl who sees only wonder in the sky. All 3 truths coexist in me. Combat hasn't left. Neither has home. Tonight, they share a ceasefire. Owls hoot somewhere near the river. I sip, letting silence refill me. In that hush, a question rises. What if my story could help another veteran stand through the next volley? The idea hums like ember in ash. I pull out my phone, open voice memo, and speak. July 4th, small town Ohio. The night fireworks turn to mortars. Words flow, raw but steady. I record until cup runs empty and fatigue settles in muscles soft as pie crust. Part 3 closes with that whisper. My flashbacks will not stay caged, but maybe telling them aloud turns explosions into echoes instead of injuries. Dawn slides in quietly, a cool lavender washing down Maple Street. I rise before the rooster clock, tug on hoodie, step outside. Horizon blushes pink. Fireworks smoke is gone, replaced by dew and the faint tang of charcoal ghosts. Night battles seldom haunt sunrise. I walk the block, boots scuffing grit. Each step confirms simple facts. I survived another 4th. I kept a promise to a little girl. I didn't leave the field early. These truths line up like medals no one sees. Front lawns glitter with confetti of spent fireworks, red plastic caps, singed cardboard, ribbons of paper curled like shed snake skins. I kneel, gather a handful into a trash sack. Cleanup feels like penance and prayer. At the corner, Mr. Alvarez rakes debris from his driveway. Korean War vet, 80 plus, spine still straight as a parade rifle. He salutes with 2 fingers off the brim of a ball cap. I return the gesture. No words needed. His eyes say, "I know." Mine answer, "I'm learning." Back home, porch rail is cold beneath my elbows. Coffee steams in mug number 2, rising tendrils slipping into morning air. I stare at the swirl, hypnotized. Steam curls remind me of dust vortices crossing desert roads, only gentler, kinder. Reflection surfaces like tide. Last night's panic wasn't failure, it was training meeting memory. The goal isn't to erase triggers, but to ride them, steer them, maybe even teach others the path. I picture viewers out there, older dads remembering Vietnam choppers, moms jumping at car backfires because of Baghdad tours, grandkids puzzled by sudden silences. If they hear my story, maybe their July nights will feel less lonely. I craft lines in my head for a video, hook with the misfire, laughter on the news clip, then my voiceover admitting the terror behind the reflex. Cut to family moments, Katie's sparkler halos, Mom's pie. Layer combat flashbacks in sepia tones, fading each with deep breath audio. End on this quiet porch, dawn flag lifting, coffee steam twisting upward like a vow. I rehearse first sentence aloud. I'm standing on Main Street July 4th when the sky does its old magic trick, turns fireworks into mortars. The words fit, honest without drama inflation. A cardinal lands on the fence, chirps percussive beats, nature's metronome. I time breathing to its rhythm, pulse evens. Inside, the family stirs, cabinets thud, water runs. Mom steps onto porch, robe cinched. She hands me another mug, decaf this time. Couldn't sleep, she asks. Slept some, I answer. Processing the rest. She sits, joints creaking. Your granddad used to tell his crew, talk it out before it talks you into trouble. She pats my knee. Talk it out, honey. I nod, thinking of recording it, maybe share online. Saying it aloud commits me. Mom smiles, proud, a touch worried, but she trusts me. Put a disclaimer for sensitive ears, she advises. Sun edges higher, painting the flag's red stripes vibrant. I pull phone, open camera, flip to selfie video. I test frame, porch, flag, sunrise halo behind my head. Good, I hit record. Morning, folks. If fireworks rocked your world in ways the crowd didn't see, this story's for you. I pause, let birdsong fill mic. Last night, a bottle rocket whistle shot me 12 years back to Anbar. I almost crawled under a cooler in front of half the county, but I stayed, and here's how. I outlined breathing trick, 4 in, 6 out, showed a gesture of grounding by gripping chair webbing. I confessed the shame when TV replayed my dive, and the relief when family saw bravery in standing back up. I honor the Legion salute, name the fallen. As words flow, knots loosen in shoulders. The story isn't chain, it's release. 10 minutes later, I stop, save file. I'll edit later, add captions for elders with hearing aids, insert calm space slides at heavy parts. Mom claps softly. Good start. Yeah, I breathe. Feels right. We head inside. Breakfast smell, bacon, coffee toast, crowds doorframe. Dave flips pancakes shaped like stars. Katie squints sleepy-eyed, glow-stick necklace, now a dull pastel. She spots my phone, asks if she can watch the video later. "I want to know your brave parts," she says. I chuckle, ruffle her hair. "You were my brave part." After breakfast, I load the truck, preparing drive back to my apartment, 2 hours south. Mom tucks pie slice in Tupperware. Dave slides hand on my shoulder. "Proud of you, bro," he murmurs. I nod. Tears threaten, but stay dignified. On the road, summer cornfields whip past windows, green soldiers in parade rest. Radio plays 80s classics. A mile marker zips by, and I realize no sudden boom startles me. Quiet highway feels like reward. Halfway home, I pull into rest stop, upload rough video to cloud, title draft, when July 4th sounds like war. Description: a veteran stands his ground in a small-town fireworks display, inside and out. I add hashtags: veteran stories, quiet courage, PTSD awareness, hit private for now. I stretch, watch clouds drift. One curls like smoke from a mortar tube, but white and harmless. I smile. Not every resemblance needs fear. Some can be reminders of victory. Back on road, I plan chapters: hook, homefront, flashback, cooler dive, Legion salute, dawn reflection, invitation to share. I imagine comments: "I thought I was alone." My dad does the same crouch. "Thanks for words for what I feel." The thought fills me with mission purpose I've missed since hanging up uniform. City skyline appears. Apartment complex slides into view. I park, kill engine. Neighborhood kids pop leftover snaps on sidewalk. Tiny gunpowder kisses. I listen. My heart flicks, then calms. Manageable. Upstairs, I shower, letting water drum scalp like soft rain on Kevlar. I sit at desk, open editing software, import clips. Hours pass trimming dead air, lowering music under dialogue, inserting black frame breaths. Final runtime, 29 minutes, 45 seconds. Perfect. I hover over publish. Cursor blinks. A last doubt whispers, what if trolls mock? What if memories spike? I answer aloud. I've been mocked and I've survived worse explosions. Click. Video goes live. Notifications ping within minutes. First comment: Marine here, exactly this. Second: my husband freezes at the fairgrounds. Thank you. Third, an emoji of a purple heart. I lean back, exhale. The war story steps into daylight, and the echo it sparks feels less like detonation, more like resonance. Sun slips behind city roofs, casting golden hour. I brew decaf, walk to balcony. Streetlight flickers on. No longer a trigger, just a bulb doing its job. A breeze lifts, flutters an old miniature flag on my railing. I hold mug close, steam warming chin. Some nights fireworks still might morph into mortars, but now I know the way back. Breathe, anchor, speak. And every time I tell the tale, the distance between desert and hometown widens a little more. I raise the mug in a quiet salute, to comrades living and gone, to families who catch us when we tilt. Steam slips past my cheek. I turn to the lens one last time. If fireworks ever change shape on you, I say, tell me below. Your story matters as much as mine. I let 3 heartbeats of porch quiet breathe through the mic. And if you'd like another dawn like this, another walk through noise and back to calm, hit subscribe or tap the next story waiting on screen. We'll face the echoes together, one sunrise at a time. I set the mug down, flag rustling overhead, and watch the sky promise its next color.